Do budget?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Annie, roll call.
Excellent. All right, online, we have Cheryl Hartman, Christina DeWar, Alicia Beckholz, Ken Marshall, Kyla Leonards, Maddie Scott, MCAT, and Melissa Fisher. In 206, we have Commissioner Vero and Slotnick, John Hart, Chris Lounsbury, Annie Cathy, and we have Griffin Smith.
Okay, any public comments on items not on the agenda? Got 2 items on the, oops, sorry. Cheryl.
Cheryl, you have feedback if you can turn off your mic. Thanks. Ready?
Consent agenda, 2 items.
I'm fine just passing this consent agenda.
Second. Any further discussion or comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Action items, Chris.
Yeah, it's the Chris Lounsbury show because I'm also going to.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to pinch for Chantel.
Okay.
It's not available today. So the first item you have today, commissioners, for your consideration is the formal emergency declaration for the wind event that happened on July 24th and the state of emergency that we're currently operating under. As you may or may not recall, under Title III, the board of the chair of county commissioners serves as the executive for the purposes of declaring a state of emergency at the time, which Commissioner Strohmeyer did as our chair. But then after that, we ratify those at a commissioners meeting where the rest of the commissioners can vote on that, since technically all 3 of you are both the legislative and executive function of Missoula County. And so in this case, this is just a standard emergency declaration, similar format to those that we always use. It allows the continued operation of the incident management team, should you choose to pass this, as well as access to the resources that the Office of Emergency Management and other departments can bring to bear when we have a state of emergency existing. And so that is what you have for your consideration today.
How do you consider it?
I would acknowledge the obviousness of the situation here and say we should request the board approve and ratify the action of the chair in declaring a state of emergency.
Second, any further discussion or comments? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Alrighty, so the next is one that you will often see that follows when we have an emergency proclamation, and this is a request to vary from the Missoula County Human Resource Policies 216.30. It's a super fancy title, but basically under normal circumstances, exempt employees are not subject to being paid for time they work beyond 40 hours. And normally we would get compensatory time for those folks, so time off in place of pay. FEMA does not allow for compensatory time when they reimburse us. And so we always request that the board allow an exemption for the employees who are exempt, who are working on the emergency event, so that we can be reimbursed from FEMA those costs, and then we just pay those people out. They do not earn overtime because they're not eligible. Like, they get paid hour for hour. So they do get paid for the additional hours they're working. They just don't get it at time and a half. It's just straight hour for hour. But that way it is reimbursable by FEMA, where if we allow folks to take it as compensatory time, we don't get any reimbursement for FEMA. So this exemption allows the human resource director, the chief people and risk officer, and myself to grant those exemptions based on the rotating staff that's working during each of those given periods during the state of emergency, because we kind of constantly have to be updating that roster. That's why we have 3 of us who kind of grant those as they go for the folks who are doing that. So that's what we're asking.
Very sensible. I would request that the board approve the exemption.
Second, any further discussion or public comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
And I am going to pull up my cheat sheet here from Chantel really quickly to get the correct pronunciation here for our next.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
I'm not able to do that. And so just so you know, this is a contract between Missoula County and the
Wickle Yankee?
Wichonyanke.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep, I was going to say, and so this is a grant actually as part of the Safety and Justice Challenge with MacArthur Foundation that will allow through this contract the creation of a resource guide for folks who are involved, criminally justice involved. That's the MacArthur piece. To help identify culturally appropriate resources that cover all the way from the Dakotas kind of west and south down through Oregon. And this will be a regional document that Missoula County will help to put together that will then be available to all to use as they have folks who might become criminally justice involved in, say, another community but are coming back to Missoula. They'll be able to connect them with local Missoula services that are culturally appropriate for them to be able to get treatment and or access services. Same thing would work if we have a Missoula County, somebody who's justice involved in Missoula County and maybe Washington State is their home state. This would allow us then to connect them with culturally appropriate resources in Washington State. This is entirely funded through the grant. There are no local dollars that go to this. Missoula County, through its partnership with the Safety and Justice Challenge, was asked if we would consider hosting and kind of helping to coordinate this. So Chelsea, who you guys are really familiar with, helped to put all of this together and will help to make sure that the guide is produced and then distributed. And so that's what we have before you today in this contract. And it's about $100,000 to produce that resource, again, covering roughly the Dakotas through Oregon.
I'm so proud of Chelsea and crew. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep, they do amazing work over there. And Chantel and Chelsea both apologized. They had different conflicting meetings going in different directions and asked if I could pitch
And
it.
we appreciate our continued relationship with the MacArthur Foundation.
Absolutely. They've done some amazing work here.
All right, I would move that we approve the subaward.
Second, any further discussion, comment? Favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, any
OEM.
correspondence?
No correspondence today.
Okay, OEM update.
Yeah, just a really quick update from the incident management team that's working on this. As of today, actually technically the end of the day yesterday when they completed that, all Northwest Energy customers have been restored to service. We have about 50, Northwest Energy. About 54 folks still remaining with Missoula Electric Co-op along the Mullen Road area out by Kona in the Snowdrift area. There was extensive damage both to the poles out there and the actual lines themselves. And so that's why we have that delay. They are hoping that they will complete that work late today, early Friday. So then the last of the residents in Missoula County will be up and fully powered. They continue to do work. So there are still sporadic outages as they replace lines that were damaged and those things. But from a general perspective, hopefully by the end of the day today, first thing tomorrow, all Missoula County residents will have power restored to them, even though they might have these intermittent outages as they continue to work on the grid and take down trees in a safe manner to make sure we don't have that. Debris management obviously continues to be the biggest issue that we face. Again, most current information is on the website as we continue to open and close sites. But today, at least, they're really requesting folks focus on the north, which is the Scott Street and Shakespeare area drop-off site, and then the Larchmont Triangle drop-off site are the
No,
two.
that was a 1, 2.
Yeah,
Famous
are the-
Larchmont Triangle. Between the
Famous
two.
Larchmont Triangle. Those are the two, at least as of this morning, that have the most capacity. Again, they'll be emptying other sites throughout the day, so we'll get more sites back online. But
So the Ford is closing?
the Fort is temporarily paused while they remove material. Hope to have that open
I
again.
was there yesterday evening.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Where's stuff going?
Unbelievable.
Most of it is going to Garden City compost.
So they're able to,
Yep, it's just,
Wow.
it's a process. Garden City is also open and taking debris, so I should be clear, you can always go directly to Garden City, but if you're looking for one of the other sites that you can bring to right now, 2 are open this morning. They're working on clearing others. We'll have more. So north is really where they're asking folks to go as a backup would be the Fort Triangle. Or again, you can take directly to the composting facility and they will work on that. But as you can imagine, that still continues to be one of the big pushes
way to
today.
go Garden City. I'm impressed that.
Yeah, they are working very hard. And last kind of piece you all are aware of, the governor is visiting today. Sounds like he will get here around 2:30. They'll do a quick briefing at the Emergency Operations Center, which is over at the Elections Building. And then they'll go out to a debris site. It sounds like that will be out in the Fort Missoula site later today. That is a little after 3, roughly, is when the governor will be out at that site. And then he is going to meet with the Chamber of Commerce after that, I believe, at their main building here downtown. So that's kind of the tentative itinerary that we have from the governor's staff today. Of course, we have budget today at 2 o'clock, and then assuming we're able to wrap that up by 3, you guys will be able to hopefully go out and participate in some of the other locations.
You're going to make all 3 of those amazing events.
I will not be. I'm going to be focused on whatever you guys are doing it too. So
Oh.
So we're.
it's
we're
all
gonna
budget
do-
all the time.
We're gonna do So we're gonna do
Thank you.
budget, and then as soon as we're done, we're gonna drive out to the fort to see the governor, and then we're gonna go from there to the chamber with the governor. And you're welcome to come
can
along.
just
if-
tag
you can-
along with us.
You can ride in the same car if you
Well,
want.
luckily for me, we have more than one reporter.
Okay. I'm glad that's still everything. Well, you were invited.
They're still doing pilot cars out on Mullen Road, just FYI.
Yeah.
Really? Because they
Yeah.
have one lane clear?
Utility lanes, the utilities are putting up new poles, so they're piloting
Dang,
between sections. So
Wow.
you have to just sit and wait for a pilot car and jump in. Yeah.
So hopefully that will largely be over by tonight or first thing tomorrow morning.
Great.
We'll be back up. So that's kind of the update I have on that. I don't have
Great,
any
thanks, Chris.
changes in the fire situation.
Yeah.
So far, we've
Nice.
Yeah, we've managed to avoid that, but as everybody knows, we're headed back to really warm temperatures, which means what little moisture we got with the two storm fronts will rapidly be gone. So,
Wonderful to have this
yeah,
guy.
not time to stop being vigilant yet.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Budget enhancement requests.
I think Ken has one of our.
Ken show, okay.
Ken is on there.
I bet you Ken and Sean are here for that.
I sure am. Apologies for not being in person today. I'm still in Bozeman for my conference, so let's see. First of all, can everybody hear me? I assume
Yes.
since everybody's quiet. Okay. Yeah, so I have one budget enhancement request to cover with you guys today. I believe the Applications Administrator 2 position. This is an ongoing request for replacement of personnel within our department. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. The IT in Missoula County has an array of application administrator positions. These are the people that help get software deployed to the computer and deal with pretty much any sort of software type issue that you might have, especially things that live in the cloud like Office 365 and Power Automate and Power BI and Teams and SharePoint. This is the crew that handles that type of work. So currently we have three positions spec'd out three job descriptions spec'd out for that division. And that is quite aptly named Application Administrator 1, 2, and 3. So
Way to make it complicated.
yeah, I decided to go for super complicated. So I actually spec'd out the Application Administrator 2 position a year or two ago in anticipation that we would either be hiring directly into that at some point in the not too distant future, or would be offering a promotional opportunity for an existing employee. And just to assuage any sort of concern, we're not actually losing anybody. This is more aimed at kind of diversifying, in a way, our capacity in that in that team. And so today we have what amounts to 2 application administrator 1s and almost 3-ish application administrator 3s. So we have none of that mid-level talent pool. And we definitely have two folks who are more than capable of stepping up into that next role level. And it allows, having somebody in that position allows us to more granularly define how we assign problems and makes us more able to be able to schedule and prioritize and delineate tasks along a job description level, which just makes things so much easier. And it's also, I think pretty obviously, really an opportunity to make sure that we're giving opportunities to keep our valuable staff in their jobs and not, looking elsewhere. So the way this request would be handled will be that we will post this as purely a internal opportunity open to just the technology department employees, and per normal union guidelines, we'll be basically soliciting to effectively 2 people in the department, but it will be open to the entire department. And that will be, if it's not filled that way, we won't be seeking to exit that pool and go to the wider public pool. So that's what we're looking at there. Any questions around that?
Maybe I didn't quite understand the last sentence. So if you can't fill it, the
And we'll go.
administrator too, then we can go outside of the department? Is that what you said? Or you're not going to do
No,
it?
not this year. I mean, we can always use more staff, and I would love to see that. But this is very specifically targeted as a promotion opportunity for an existing employee. So if we do
Got it.
not fill that internally, we will not attempt to fill it externally.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
Oh,
Good. Thanks, Ken. Enjoy the
You're welcome.
conference.
yeah.
Thank you.
Events, invitations. Okay, we're adjourned.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.